Hello everyone, welcome back to another video.
Today in this video, we have a very special type beat tutorial, how to make a Xole type beat. Xole is a musical artist slash YouTuber slash very good friend of mine, and today we're going to learn how to make beats in his style. So I'm sure quite a lot of you have heard some of the songs that me and Xole have made together, such as Every Moment or San Francisco, but this tutorial is actually going to be more focused on more of his solo songs. Some of the ones like Willow, Sunrise, and Blue Light, and to generally summarize Coleman's style, I would say that it's kind of a mixture of folky, indie pop, lo-fi, and also some electronic EDM type genres as well. Really, the main thing you're going to need for this is an acoustic guitar. In a lot of his songs, the acoustic is usually a pretty important element. So getting started, the first thing we want to do is put our guitar into open D tuning. This is a tuning that Cole's been using a lot more recently, but I think it really fits his whole style very well. And he actually used open D tuning for a couple of the samples on the brand new SoundLodge sample pack. But what the heck is SoundLodge is what you're probably asking right now. So SoundLodge is actually a company, brand, project that me and Cole have been working on for almost 2 years now. It's basically a platform specifically designed for indie musicians, DIY, bedroom producer type folks that want to have live instrument and drum samples, but you don't want to pay a bazillion dollars for them. And we're actually going to bring on other artists and producers to make packs with us on the website. We're super excited about this and what it's going to become in the future. Right now on the website, soundlodge.net, we have 2 packs up there. We have the Welcome to SoundLodge sample pack and Welcome to SoundLodge drum kit. The sample pack has 14 super high quality samples. The drum kit has a bunch of live recorded drum loops and one-shots as well, and both of the kits are only 15 buckaroons, so definitely go check them out. Anyways, back to the tutorial. So on our open detuned guitar, we're going to take a capo and put it somewhere around like the 3rd to 6th fret. Cole usually uses a capo because it puts everything more in his vocal range, register, whatever. So we're just going to come up with a little pattern, adding some melodies in there, really utilizing the openness of the tuning. And we're going to do some sort of finger picking vibe. We're going to record it twice so that we can double track it, pan one to the left and one to the right. Also, one thing I forgot to mention is that I would say a pretty good tempo for Xole type beats is going to be anywhere in like the 105 to like 135 range. A lot of his stuff tends to kind of be in that area. But now jumping into the DAW, first thing we got to do in the DAW is add some sort of soft piano. If you've heard a Xole track before, you know this guy loves his little soft piano sounds. My favorite piano VST has got to be the soft piano inside of Spitfire Audio's Labs. And what we're going to do here is literally just copy the same chords that we played on the acoustic guitar. It's going to take a minute for me to do because we used open D, so I got to match everything up properly. Alright, so I matched up the piano notes with the acoustic guitar notes, and then to make this sound more realistic, we're going to randomize the velocities, randomize some of the start times of the notes. Then we're just going to add a couple very simple melody notes in there, just something like this and like this, mostly just to move along the chord progression, not really to stand out and be a very prominent melody. So now for the piano, we have this little vibe right here. With the guitar, sounds like this. Now what I'm going to do is add some very subtle strings, just a little cello vibe, mainly because I think it would sound good, not really because it's a huge part of Xole's sound or anything. I'm using Labs for this as well, just the cello moods sample thing. We're just doing those 3 notes, that's all we need. It's only going to be a little accent thing. But now we're going to add a couple things that show off more of his experimental EDM type influences. The first one being this little texture thing from Labs. I'm using this granular whale song Talking Whales preset, and it's going to be very subtle, just following a similar pattern to the strings. So now that we got all that, it's sounding like this. Honestly, sounds pretty beautiful already. This could just make a great sample as it is. If you like samples like this, you should really check out the Welcome to SoundLodge sample pack that me and Coleman actually made together. If you like his sound and my sound, you're definitely going to like the samples on there, so definitely go check that out. Anyways, we're going to open up Analog Lab. So I actually know firsthand insider information that Analog Lab is really one of the only synth plugins that Cole uses. I'm going to go to Types and then Evolving Pad because I want to have some sort of pad sound that kind of moves around and has some life to it. So I'm just going to click through some presets using the exact same pattern that we have for the piano. Ooh, that's perfect actually. I know this is something that he would absolutely love. I'm going to take this and I'm going to put some lo-fi type effects on it, maybe some RC20 or something like that. Oh, that's so sick. It's very subtle, but it adds so much texture to that piano sound. So Analog Lab is pretty taxing on my CPU, but I also grabbed this little delay piano sound as just kind of like a little counter melody. And that's going to be kind of buried away in the mix. You're not really going to hear that much, but it adds a nice layer. So presently we have a nice little vibe a lot. So nice. So we really only have a couple more things to add here, one of the things being bass, but I want to do the drums first because I like to fit my bass lines around the drums. So let's grab some drum samples. Alright, so I grabbed a kick sound from the new Welcome to Sound Lodge drum pack. Very nice kick sound. Then for our snare, we want to go for something very lo-fi, kind of light and thin. So I grabbed this lo-fi snare, and I'm going to layer it with another snare drum from the Welcome to Sound Lodge drum pack. Then we're also just going to gather up a bunch of other little percussive sounds to kind of layer in there. If you want to have a nice little percussive groove going on, it doesn't have to be too complicated, but just something that's going to give you a little groove, a little bounce, you know? So we're going to just do a little boom, boom, ksh kind of action. Maybe with a little boom, boom, ksh. And once you have your snare and your kick laid out, you can kind of lay everything in there around it to create a better groove. So for example, kind of what I'm hearing is like a kind of thing. Something like that, you know? And then we can fit some other percussion in here like this. I also grabbed a couple sounds from my vintage drum kit, which I'll link in the description below as well. Hi-hat, open hat, snap, and this super clean snare roll, which we're going to put at the end of the drum pattern right here. This is very inspired, very reminiscent of the drum pattern on Sunrise. It kind of has a similar thing going on. And a lot of Coleman's tracks, you're really not going to hear a whole lot of two-step hi-hats. It sounds alright, but it's not really his style. So we're going to use our hi-hat a little bit sparingly just to kind of move the groove along. We're also going to add a little bit of swing onto this pattern just to give it a little bit more groove. The main thing with these drums is that we want to create a nice flowing rhythm with all the little percussive sounds, but not overpower it, make it too crowded. So really listen to your pattern and make sure that everything fits together kind of like a jigsaw puzzle. A rhythmic jigsaw, if you will. So now we should have some sort of drum pattern that sounds a little bit like this. Notice how the percussion really helps the drums flow along, but it doesn't overcrowd it, and we still have a lot of space in those drums. Brief side note here, for those of you wondering about the 100K countdown that me and Coleman were doing, we were trying to reach 100,000 subscribers before the new year, and we failed. So we are actually going to be shaving our heads, but as you can see, your boy's still got plenty of hair. That is because me and Cole are going to coordinate it so that we shave our heads at the same time. We're going to do it a little bit later, but we're still going to do it, we promise. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming. Now it's time for bass. We're pretty much just going to play a simple little pattern that follows the root notes of those piano chords, and we want to make sure that it makes sense rhythmically with the drums. Alright, that's your bass right there. I'm probably going to have to go in there and time adjust certain notes because, hey, I'm not a human metronome, but I try. So remember how I said a lot of his tracks don't usually have a two-step hi-hat pattern? Well, never fear, because we're about to add something that's going to take the place of that. Shaker. Alright, so at this point, I think we're looking pretty good. The one final thing we're going to add is an electric guitar lead melody pattern. Coleman songs usually don't have a whole lot of lead electric guitar, but you bet your bottom dollar that if we were making a song together, I would be adding some, so might as well. It's going to be very simple, nothing too crazy. Perfect. Very simple, nothing crazy, just a nice little melody. If you've ever listened to a Xole song, you know that this guy is a big fan of adding field recordings and other sound effect type things into his songs. So we're just going to add a little outside, daytime, birds chirping type ambience, something like this. Some great birds going on there. And we're just going to add that during the intro, bridge, and outro section. And the last thing we're going to add is some transition sounds. I love this crash right here. It's my favorite one. So we're adding that layered up with this little white noise transition crash thing. Xole tends to add a lot of white noise risers and crashes and things like that. As far as the layout, the sequencing of the beat and everything, we just have a nice little piano intro with that ambient daytime sound effect. Drums come in, give it a little break somewhere in there. Drums come back in, a couple choruses, a couple verses, pretty standard stuff. Make sure to change up the instruments, take out certain ones, add certain ones back in at different points during the song. You want to keep it fresh, you want to keep it interesting to listen to. If your beat is staying exactly the same for like 30, 45 seconds, a minute of the song, it's going to get pretty boring for the listener, and that is definitely less less than ideal for a music listener. As far as the mixing goes, I'm not going to go too deep into that because Coleman actually is a very talented engineer, way better than me. If you want to learn about mixing, definitely go check out his videos. But you can see I just got a little EQ on everything, using TrueVerb as my reverb plugin on a lot of different instruments. And then all the drums are actually routed to a bus that has RC20 on it to give them all a very lo-fi, tapey kind of sound. So I think this beat turned out really great. I just feel like a track like this needs some vocals on it, and it turns out that I know a guy whose vocals might fit pretty well over this beat. What's up, my brother? I have a little track for you to maybe put some vocals upon.
Ooh, okay.
The catch is that I can't tell you what the beat is for. So
I have to guess?
Yeah, you just kind of have to guess. Just do like whatever feels natural.
I'll just do like Xole vocals.
Yeah, that's fine.
Get together and we'll find out why. She said she loved it when I call her mine.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is pretty much going to do it for me in this video here today. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, learned how to make a little Xole type beat. Make sure you go check out Coleman's channel and his music, link in the description below. Make sure you also go check out Soundlodge, the new packs on there. We're super excited about that. But yeah, thank you for watching. That does it for me, and I will see you all next time.
Get together.